What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, and I decided to come again tonight with another entry into the Keeping the Confidence series, as I feel that so many people have lost sight of their self-esteem. And I feel like keeping the confidence, building self-esteem will be a several part series. I don't think we can build self-esteem with one video, but I think this is something we're going to continue to address because I see that there is a need as far as building self-esteem. And I'm going to try and tell you all how I got there and how I know you can get there as well. So let's first talk about where self-esteem comes from. Self-esteem is how highly a person regards themselves. It's the way that they see themselves. It's the way that our values, our beliefs, all those things have played into how we regard ourselves or how highly we regard ourselves. It has to do with a level of feeling about yourself. It's self-respect in a sense. Pretty much a lot of times we find that self-esteem depletion or the lowering of self-esteem occurs when a person becomes an adolescent or a teen. So that's where we start to see that shift in self-esteem, because you know, when you were little, a lot of us know when we were little, we really didn't care about what people thought about us. We really didn't care about how the world around us operated and how we fit into it. You really don't become conscious about those things until you get older. So it's natural that a depletion in self-esteem will come when you feel a lot less, when you start to compare yourself, when you start to compare yourself to others, and when you feel more accountable for where you are. So let's get started on how we can build this self-esteem, because it's an epidemic. I find that low self-esteem is a big epidemic, and you all probably see people with low self-esteem, and you might have low self-esteem yourself. I can speak from experience. I have had the lowest of the low self-esteem, and I ain't afraid to admit it. But I stand before you today as a person with high self-esteem and high self-regard and self-respect. And I believe that the people that know me will agree with those statements. Self-esteem. So the way we're going to first build it is we're going to make sure that we know ourselves. A lot of times when you don't know yourself and what you want out of life, where you plan to go, where you want to be, it's hard for you to have self-esteem because you don't have anything invested. You don't know where your place is. You don't know where you'll be. You don't know who cares about you, who loves you, where your regard comes from, if you even love yourself. So if you first take time to seek out who you actually are, take yourself seriously, understand that this is your place in the world, this is your calling, this is your talent, nurture and keep that whole and sacred, then you can start to build self-esteem. Furthermore, with self-esteem, you have to realize that it does not come overnight. You have to fight for self-esteem. That takes time. All those things I told you about, all those things about finding your place in this world, about understanding and respecting yourself, all of those things do not come overnight. A lot of times we build those things falsely because we've depended on people for so long to tell us our self-worth. We've depended on people to tell us for so long where we belong, what we should be doing, where we should be going. But until we stand up and realize that we are the captains of our faith, and and we can devise a plan as to how we can get higher, as to how we can build on the level that we're on. So how do we build on that level? Building on that level takes writing out your goals, figuring out what it is that you want out of life. First of all, because a lot of us don't know. We don't know. We look at other people and we compare ourselves. We look at media. We look at our friends around us. We look at our professors. We look at our teachers. We look at different people around us to supply us with that. We think that the world will come to us when really we have to come to the world. We have to depend on our own knowledge and our own want and desire for more knowledge in order to move up the ladder and to self-empower ourselves. In order to do that, we have to build on goals. So it comes back to realizing where you are and where you want to be. Again, now we're going to move away from that and talk about being where you are and where you want to be. The next step in building self-esteem is being honest with yourself about that information. Where am I? Where do I want to be? First of all, people don't like to admit they're wrong. They don't like to admit that they're at the lowest level. It's okay to be at the lowest level, because guess what? When you come up levels, people are going to notice. If you're on the lowest level, that's good for you, because you ain't got that much to go in order to see growth. And that's what you want to see. You want to measure that growth. You want to start off at that lowest level, but you want to continually build. And that means for those of you all, for instance, that are seeking an education, you're in high school, you're in undergrad, you don't know what you're going to do. Write out goals for yourself. Figure out what it is you want to be, what you want to do. Figure out a niche. This all sounds very cliche, but in fact, it's very important. Sometimes writing down your goals can be the difference between you achieving something and the difference between you leaving a goal behind. So be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Figure out where it is you are and how you need to get to where you're going to get. Because if you have anything going on in your life that ain't right, we know for a fact you're not going to be able to build on your self-esteem off of falsely building it. You cannot continue to do wrong and expect for right to occur. So let's move on from even that. Your expectations. I made a comment about expecting things. A lot of times our self-esteem is depleted because we have too high expectations. Yes, the sky's the limit. Don't get me wrong. But in order to get to step 10, you first must follow through with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We don't like to hear that. We don't like to hear that. But you can't jump from 1 to 10. It don't happen like that. So all of us want to be ballers, want to be athletes, want to be rappers. You got to start off at square one. You can't wake up one day and decide you're going to be a doctor and be a doctor in 2 days. You can't do that. It all takes work. It all takes work. So in order to do that, you must realize where your expectations are. If they're too high, you need to bring them down a notch. Just like you probably gonna have to bring your attitude down a notch. Bring it down a notch in order to get there. Be real with yourself. First of all, make goals that are easy to set and probably easy to reach. You can't start at square one and talk about how you're going to get to 10. You need to first figure out how you're going to get to 5. So that's the realness in setting these goals and building self-esteem. Self-esteem also comes from within. So in order to do that, you must work on your temple. I like to call our bodies our temple, because we only get one temple. We only get one body. We only get this one place that we get to reverence or we get to destroy. So really, it's up to you to take care of that, because since self-esteem comes from within, you're going to have to work on what's on the inside. If you feel that you're a rotten person, work on trying to look yourself in the mirror daily and tell yourself good things about you. Build on those good things by getting into different programs, by doing different things in your community, by showing yourself that you are it, that you are hot. It's no way for anybody else to instill that in you. You have to do that yourself. That's the only way you're going to get to self-esteem. Hence the name of it, self-esteem. You have to get to it yourself. So this is going to be that first installment. I want you all to first work on those things. Before I get to this next video, I want you to have written out 5 different goals. You can share those goals if you want, but there needs to be 5 different goals that you would like to achieve. You need to write out 5 different things you actually like about yourself. One thing is, half of us don't even like ourselves, and that's why we find it hard to like other people. That's why we hate. I hate using that word, but we do. We hate other people that know themselves. Jealousy comes from, the root of jealousy comes from not knowing yourself. So when you don't have self-esteem, it's easy for you to look at somebody else and talk about what they're doing wrong. It's easy for you to look at somebody else and criticize them because they know themselves. Because when somebody knows themselves, they have nothing to explain to you. They don't don't have to bring anything back to you. That's that self-esteem. When I have that self-esteem and that self-worth, I've reached a level where nobody can really touch me because I know who I am. And that's the key to self-esteem, knowing who you are. And so we're going to address these in a 3-part series. This is the first in that installment. I plan to do a part 2 and a part 3. So be looking forward to that. But this is what I want you all to work on, is those 5 things, those 5 goals that you want to set and how to achieve them, because our next installment is going to be about achieving goals. And then I want 5 things that you really like about yourselves, because we're going to try to switch the ball here. We want you all to start liking yourselves. I'm tired of people hating themselves. And then that causes hate on other people. And I'm tired of that too. That's stupid. That's really dumb. And we have to stop doing that. And until we can work on home, we can't work on the neighborhood. Get it together, and then we can move forward. So that second part of the series is going to be about goal setting and achievement. So get your goals together. You know your girl, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, loves you. I'm here for you. Keeping the confidence is going hard. I'm ready for it. Ready for it. Y'all should be ready for it. All right, y'all. Good night. God bless. Peace. Guys, be sure to visit and join www.BeautifulBrwnBabyDol, where you can find natural hair care solutions and weight loss solutions. Make sure that you join by looking on the side panel. You can join with Facebook, or you can sign in by going to the members page and click the join button. Really simple, guys. Also, make sure that you check out my products and services, including my weight loss and hair care consultation packages. They're very reasonable. And also just check them out. You can see the descriptions there, and I also have a video here which you can watch. Don't forget about the fabulously unique Natural Hair Affair 2010 taking place in Tampa, November 6, 10 to 4 p.m. Make sure you join my Facebook fan page, Nina, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, Ellis Hervey, there just as it's spelled. Also, follow me on Twitter, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. It's spelled just a little bit different. Follow my Twitter fan page, BrwnBbyDolFans. And also, make sure that you check out my girl Tiff, who designed the YouTube page. You can find all of these links at the bottom of the page in the content section. Real simple, guys. Much love, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll.